Hey, what's up, Roxstars? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blog. So
Here's what you got it. Makeup in the morning, you got dresses in your closet, but you grab them tights, you in love with being modest.
all right, Roxstars, I'm on location today. I'm at the McDonald's in the parking lot. I just finished eating, and I was like, oh, I'll go in and do my video now. And somebody is blasting Soul Train, of all things. Hopefully you guys can't hear it. I don't want it to mess up my damn monetization, but why are you blasting Soul Train? Like the theme song to Soul Train, somebody is blasting it. Fucking 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a Thursday, and you are blasting Soul Train. Anyway, first story up, you guys. We were very saddened to find out yesterday that Tina Turner, mama named her, Anime Bullock, died after many years of fighting off many of her health battles, you guys. She told us back in, 2013, I believe, she had a massive stroke. I don't know if it was considered massive, but it was a pretty serious stroke, and it took some time for her to recover from that. I believe in 2016, she was diagnosed with cancer of her intestines. And then in 2017, I think she had a kidney transplant. So she has had a lot of health issues recently. I'd say within the, over this last decade or so. She did retire from music back in 2021. You guys remember when her documentary came out? That was like her official, last time people really saw her in public, because it was getting too hard for her to be out, especially with her health issues. The documentary was really, really good. It was an HBO documentary. I think it was like 2 or 3 parts, and it was good. It was sad though, because in it, she told us that she had a pretty horrible life, and that she wasn't really happy with, kind of how her life had ended up, which is always like a fear that I think of, as I get older. I always wonder, I don't want to be that old person that looks back on their life and has a lot of regrets and a lot of things that basically make you think that you had a bad life. Because I would like to think that Tina Turner, even though we know all about her, all of her struggles. I mean, we don't know about all of them, but we know about a good portion of her struggles from when she was with Ike Turner, just that portion of her life. You guys have to remember, she got a divorce. She was around 40 by the time she got the divorce, and basically had to reinvent herself, because everybody knew her as Tina Turner from, Ike and Tina from The Review, and she wanted to be known as her own person. So she had to go through, some changes for people to realize that, no, this is a talent, whether or not she is with Ike, that needs to be recognized, okay? They don't call her the queen of rock and roll for no reason. Queen of rock and roll, queen of rock and soul, whatever you want to call it. And she proved, with that album, Private Dancer. On that album had What's Love Got to Do with It, which is her, known as her comeback song, okay? And then, of course, from then on, she went on to sell. She sold 12 million of the Private Dancer albums. Those kind of numbers, they don't do anymore, okay? Nobody does 12 million anymore off of one album. Or really, it's hard to do that, period, with the the TikTok music and all that we have today. But 12 million albums of that album, all of her albums together totaled over 200 million sales. So yes, this is a 13-time Grammy winner. Let's see. I put it in my notes. Give me 1 second. She's a 12-time Grammy winner. She's a 2-time Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee. This woman has achieved so much, and a lot of it in the latter part of her life, I should say the second half of her life, because like I said, she was 40 when she had to have her comeback. But that right there lets you know that true talent just does not go to waste. Okay, if you have it, then that is something that is going to serve you well into your old age, even after death. I mean, this is a legend who will go on in history as one of the best to do it. Okay, if not the best to do it. But yeah, I was saddened to hear that. We don't hear much about Tina Turner. Like I said, she decided to kind of become a recluse. She moved over into Switzerland, I think in 1970, not 70s, in the 90s. She was in a relationship with the German exec, what is his name? Erwin Bach. They ended up getting married in the early 1990s, I believe. And she has been with him all this time. But we, of course, know Tina Turner's life up until she divorced from Ike Turner. The movie What's Love Got to Do With It, you know, starring Angela Bassett, who played Tina Turner. The role that she should have gotten the Oscar for. I think we all agree on that. But just an explosive character. Comes from a colorful black background. I think the movie kind of even dressed her life up even more. She probably had an even harder time than we even saw on that movie, because, you know, it's entertainment. It's something that we've got to be able to consume and enjoy. And if we would have seen probably how indeed terrible it was for her during that time, you know, maybe people would not have been drawn to it as much. So they did a great job on showing us what her life is. And was, I should say, with Ike Turner, all the things that she had to go through, their family. Yeah, and probably one of the strongest people out there. I've heard a lot of people say that she is strong in so many ways. There's so many celebrities that have been pouring out and saying how much, you know, her impact, her music, how they've affected her. I mean, I've seen Oprah, I've seen Beyonce, I've seen Angela Bassett, I've seen, it's just been, everybody has been reaching out and speaking on her life and on her death. But yeah, I was saddened to see that. And my only hope is that in these last couple of years that she was able to just be home and, you know, even in her times of being ill, I'm hoping that she wasn't in a lot of pain. I'm hoping that she was able to, reconcile a lot of things in her life that she wasn't happy with, because I just think that it's so sad to die unhappy. I realize that it happens, but when you've achieved so much and you've done so much, I would like to think that you know that your life meant something to millions and millions of people. Was still married. Her husband, Erwin Bach, is who survives her, along with her two of her sons. So Tina Turner actually had a little boy before she married Ike Turner. I didn't even know that. That little boy's name was Ronnie. No, sorry. That little boy's name was Craig. Okay. Craig is one of her sons who died by a self-inflicted gunshot wound a few years back, a couple of years ago. And then when she got with Ike, then they had a son together. His name was Ronnie, okay? I believe Ronnie also is no longer alive. And then when they married, when she and Ike Turner married, then they each adopted each other's kids. So together they had 4 kids. There's 2 that's left and remaining. But yeah, you guys, I was so sad to hear that she had died. And then once you know, realize that a person's died, then they start playing their music and their catalog on the radio and on the Sirius satellite radio, and you just remember like all of the hits that she had. Even before she was Tina Turner by herself, even the hits that she had with Ike Turner. I mean, they have some classics out there. I mean, you guys remember all of the songs that we even saw in the movie. But yeah, they had so many hits. people will tell you that Ike Turner definitely was a musical genius. It's just too bad that his character and the things that he did precede him. Like, you know, he's not gonna always ever get his just due because of the way that he treated Tina Turner. But people will say that Ike Turner was a lot of the reason why Tina Turner became Tina Turner. Okay, so I guess she would like to say that he may have discovered her, but he did not create her. Okay, that was God-given talent, you guys. But yeah, of course, because it's Tina Turner, we're just gonna have to, you guys, we're gonna have a little sing-along moment here, and we'll just do a quick little verse of What's Love Got to Do with It. You guys with me? Get your voices together. You must understand how the touch of your hand makes my pulse react. It's only the thrill of boy meeting girl, opposites attract. It's physical, only logical. But whatever the reason, it means more than that. Oh, what's love got to do with it? What's love but a second-hand emotion? What's love got to do with it? Who needs a heart when a heart can't be broken? I could sing this whole song for y'all, but we ain't got that kind of time. But that is the tribute to Anna Mae Bullock, better known as and always known as Tina Turner. Man, I sure hate to hear that our legends are gone. I'm telling you, they are dropping. 2023, we have had a lot of people die. I feel like I've been saying that for the last couple of years. We have had a lot of people die. But this one's impact will be felt for a long time. But like I said, the music is going to live on forever and ever. And that's one good thing about all of the artists that do leave us. That's the good thing about being an entertainer, that you know that you've left your staple, you've left your stamp. And that's got to be a great feeling to know that you've affected so many people. So although I am sad to hear that she is dead, I'm glad to know that her music lives on. She was 83 years old. Rest in peace, Tina Turner.
You a move body giving interviews. I'm just saying I'm amused, but you ain't even flash.
All right, you guys, we're gonna get the politics out the way real fast, like here. I told you guys about Ron DeSantis last week. I was like, you know, he should be announcing any day now that he is running for the president of these here United States. And sure enough, yesterday he was supposed to have this interview on the Twitter audio platform with Elon Musk. And that was where he was going to announce his presidency. The announcement came. I was like, is this a sign from the God up above that maybe you don't need to do this? They had so many technical problems. He could not get the speech done. He finally was able to put the speech out and declare that, yes, he is indeed running for president of the United States. Now, let me just tell you guys, this presidential election, I'm not getting all wrapped up in shit like I did last time. Last presidential election damn near put your girl over. My nerves was bad. My anxiety and all of that, all I could think about was the fact that YSAP might make it back in office and cha. But you know what? I have come to realize that, you know, it's going to be what it's going to be. I would surely hope that people will keep their eye on the candidates that are running and the ones that are the most likely to win in their respective seats, and figure out if that person lines up with your values, your beliefs, your wants. Do they have the same legislation that you would like to see in place? Do they have the same, you know, do you guys vibe, like the kids like to say today? Do you vibe with this person? That is the person that you would need to vote for. Okay. I don't believe that Ron DeSantis is somebody that I vibe with. Okay. So I will not be voting for him. But it's the same you know, it's the same shit every presidential season. You know, it's just everybody gets so wrapped up in this whole election thing. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it this year. That's just a responsibility that I ain't taking on this year. Okay. But we'll talk about it. We definitely will talk about it. But yeah, I'm not getting all into it as I once was before. Now, this announcement, of course, is now the official rivalry, I guess I will say, between DeSantis and Trump. We know that DeSantis has modeled much of his political career after YSAP, and has decided to take a lot of the ways that YSAP goes about doing things and says things and kind of has made it his own. So DeSantis really is another YSAP. So, I mean, there's that. Those two are both running on the Republican ticket, which makes me, I can't wait to see the antics that's going to go on between the two of them. Okay? Because we know YSAP ignorant. I'm sure he is lining up his insults already. He don't give a damn that, you know, DeSantis backed him and, you know, wanted him to win at one time and all this. Now that they're going up against each other, you already know how YSAP roll. Okay? So it's going to be interesting to see those two coming back at each other. But yeah, DeSantis, he going to go and say in his little speech, I am running for president of the United States to lead our own great American comeback. He said that you guys know that the country is headed in the wrong direction. It's so funny that they always use this type of rhetoric when you are running for presidency is like a scare tactic. The great American comeback. Where is the great American gone to? Where is America? Okay? Make America great again. America is the same that it's been this whole time. Yeah, there's ups and there's downs, but America is America. I know a lot of people that would love to be here in America other than other places. So, you know, it's rhetoric. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see these two, because I can see that as DeSantis gets, right now he hasn't said anything insulting. He hasn't come at YSAP, but we know that YSAP hits below the belt. So it's going to be coming, you guys. It's just a matter of time. And yeah, I can't wait to see it. He says, my pledge to you is this. If you nominate me, you can set your clocks to January 20th, 2025 at high noon, because on the west side of the U.S. Capitol, I will be taking the oath of office as the 47th president of the United States. Y'all put that on your calendar right now. I'm going to give you a little time. So yeah, DeSantis says that he's going to get the job done, and I guess it's just going to be touch and go. I think DeSantis would like to go back to a time where America was blind. That's the best way to describe it. When America had its blind prejudices and racial things, and when America was ignorant, I kind of feel like that's where he wants to go back to. Okay. Is too liberal for him now. He would like a more conservative America. And there's a lot of people who feel that way as well. So we can't just write DeSantis off, because I mean, he won in Florida. That second time that he ran, won by a landslide, like 19 points. That is a huge jump ahead of everybody else that he was running against. So at least the people in Florida believe that he's the man to do it. Okay, so we'll see what the rest of the United States thinks when he runs. But yeah, y'all, it's coming. And you guys know nobody runs really on the Democratic ticket when the president is a Democrat. So it's just going to be Joe Biden against whoever ends up in the Republican seat. So we'll see. I know a lot of people still have issue with Joe Biden, but I'm going to tell you this. And then I'm going to leave it alone, like my dad said. I'm going to tell you this, and then I'm going to let it go. You better learn how to vote for the lesser of two evils. Because all of the people that's saying that they just don't vote, then what is your solution? Okay? That's all I'm going to say, and I'm going to move on off of that. Okay? Y'all put whatever you feel about all that down in the comments below.
And you cool, tatted up, cover wolf, different vibe. have you knowing proof, but you ain't even.
All right, you guys, next story up. So, DJ Envious. Mama named him Rayshawn. Is it Rayshawn Casey? Rayshawn Casey and Rick Ross. Mama named him William Leonard Roberts II. They have been in a very funny virtual beef over car shows. You guys, it's really, really stupid. And this kind of just lets you know how men let egos take over and just, you know, be up here arguing about shit that don't even damn matter. But, and I don't even really know how the beef started. I think that we've known that DJ Envious, like Rick Ross kept calling him, he don't really like Rick Ross because DJ Envy is like an employee and a good friend and close to 50 Cent. We know that 50 Cent, mama named him Curtis. What is it? Curtis. What is his last name? Washington Williams, one of them black last names. But anyway, we know that 50 Cent and Rick Ross have a lot of bad history together. I mean, that's a long story, but yeah, they've got a lot of bad history. So DJ Envy has kind of adopted on that beef from 50 Cent, and now him and Rick Ross occasionally will get into it. Well, you guys know that DJ Envy gives a car show. He has a traveling car show that he does. Every year, I believe it's in a different place. I believe last year his car show was here. Mr. was actually in his car show because, you know, Mr. has lowriders. So he was one of the ones that participated in the car show. It's usually down at, I think this past year it was at the Cobb Cobb County has like their own auditorium where they have their things and concerts, you know, if it's not a big, is the venue that they use. So yeah, DJ Envy has had his car shows. I think he actually has a car show here every year. And so last year was Rick Ross's first time having a car show. If you don't live here in Atlanta, he purchased Evander Holyfield's huge mansion and the property years ago. And that is now what he calls the Promised Land. That's the name of it. That's the big sign that they have in front of his home. But last year, and his grounds are huge. He has a lot of grounds. It's like just beautiful, sprawling green grass, you know, year round. But last year he had his car show there. So all the cars were there, and the traffic. Now his house sits on the corner, and it's not easily accessible. There's a shopping center that's right across the street. I'm assuming that's probably where a lot of people had ended up parking, but the traffic was monumental, okay, to say the least. It was awful. And Mr. and all the motorcycle club, they was all there, okay. It was a million, trillion, zillion, gazillion people there. The traffic was horrible. The people that actually live in that neighborhood, which is just a one-way street back and forth. So there's no way to pass. You either coming this way or you going that way. And so it was locked up. There were subdivisions over there where people could not get out of their subdivisions. It was people that was parked on people's private property where they wasn't supposed to be. It was a whole lot. So this year, Fayetteville told him that he had to have a permit for this car show. And when I tell you everybody that lived in Fayetteville must have showed up at that damn town hall meeting, they was all like, hell, fuck no, bitch. He cannot come back here again. And not come back because he's there. But they were like, no, we're not granting no permit. And so they denied the permit, which means that he can still have his show, obviously, because this is a private, you know, it's a private event. It's on private property. His own home is private property, but I don't know where everybody gonna park, because I know for a fact that the police are going to be over there, and the police are they probably gonna close off that parking lot across the street. They're gonna shut it down. They're gonna make it hard for anybody to be able to park anywhere. And unless Rick Ross allows everybody to park on his grounds, which will fill that place up fast. Okay, considering how many people are going to probably be at the show. I don't know what's going to happen. I have a feeling that they're going to shut it down, but what's happening is Rick Ross is saying he's still going to do it. He still wants to get, I think he's charging some astronomical amount, $200 to get in, some, you know, and then if you have a car, it's some ridiculous price to show, because you have to pay to show your car. And I feel like he's doing all this because he knows he's going to get the money for it. And damn it, if they shut it down, then oh well, he already got his cash for it. Okay, it's going to be a mess. And then one of Mr.'s friends called the other day and told us that now Rick Ross is saying it's not going to just be a car show, it's going to be a horse show. He is ignorant. I was just like, not the horse too, because you know there's a lot of people here in Atlanta that have horses. So he's telling everybody also to bring their horses out. And I was just like, the confusion. And you already know the neighbor, you don't probably know this, but the neighbors already was fed up with him with his animals. I think he has a buffalo. I think the buffalo has gotten loose a couple of times. I've seen on the news, like the buffalo was in somebody's fucking backyard or some shit. So the neighbors is really over Rick Ross over there, but you know, it's his property. He can do what he wants to do. So we'll see how it goes. Rick Ross has said that he is now going to run for mayor of Fayetteville, because there's some things that he feels that he needs to correct. But yeah, as far as this beef with Envy, it's silly, obviously. I saw that DJ Envious. Did you guys see the video when he was telling them that he could come? He want him to come and him and his boys lay out at his pool. You know, he got a grotto and everything over there. You know, he tell him he want him to break dance right here. Like, really? Oh, the shit is really funny. And so then DJ Envy got back at him. He put on his correctional officer outfit, because you know the running joke on Rick Ross is that he plays like he's a Don. He plays like he's, you know, this big time whatever he's doing, but really in reality he excuse me, he is he used to be a correctional officer. I think he was he like a juvenile detention officer or like a parole officer or something like that. I mean, he wasn't a police officer on the beat, but he still worked in law enforcement. So, you know, that was DJ Envy's little thing. I was cracking up when the guy there was like, so did you just have that outfit in your car? But I think DJ Envy, his dad retired from being a police officer, so I'm sure he has access to that kind of stuff. I mean, you know, you can get that stuff anyway. I mean, it's an all-in good fun kind of fight. What usually takes these fights over is social media and the fans weighing in and all that. But I think most of us realize that Rick Ross is he's just funny as fuck. And you know, like I said, DJ Envy is not really my favorite person, so I've been actually enjoying these things. And usually these kind of things just get on my nerves, but the shit has been kind of funny to me. So yeah, the car show is scheduled for not this coming weekend, but the weekend after. It's the first Saturday in June. And no, Mr. won't be in this. He won't be at this car show because we already are anticipating it's gonna be bad. I mean, he may be there, but he ain't gonna be. His car won't be there, I should say. Child, one time Mr. had a car in this hopping contest. You guys might have seen the video because it was it ended up going viral. But one time Mr. they had no, this wasn't a car show. This was at the LA. This was at the they have a picnic out here for everybody from LA, like every year. I can't think of the name of the damn picnic anyway, but Mr. had his car there. At this time, he had a 60-something Impala. You guys know this. It's the Impala that was in the video. I mean, in Jada's prom pictures, if you guys have been around long enough to remember that. She took some pictures near the prom. Maybe I'll put a picture of it right here. When she was going to the prom, she took a picture. But anyway, he don't have that Impala no more, but at the damn picnic, he was hopping it, you know, with the hydraulics and everything, and he was hopping it, and Mister's pretty good at hopping his car, you know, so that shit was like boom, 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 boom. And then all of a sudden, some shit, Mr. said he could smell some smoke. And he was like, what the fuck? And child, the damn back seat, the back seat was on fire. Child, Mr. Back seat was on fire. Okay, and this was like a, you know, done up paint job, like custom paint job and all of that shit. Mr. was like, Roxanne, I was just looking at the car. He was like, I did not know what to do. He was just like, I didn't have no extinguishers or nothing. He was like, I was like, fuck it. The car is insured. It's just going to go up in flames. He said this white guy that was there must have ran up to the car, went in the car. It was a bunch of guys that was around the car trying to like put out the fire and everything, but it was just getting bigger and bigger. Mr. said, Roxanne, this white guy came and went and snatched the fucking back seat out the car and threw it out on the ground. He was like, that motherfucker ain't had no gloves on or nothing. That nigga just went over there and snatched the shit out and pulled out. He was like, homie, we ain't gonna let your car go up like that. He was like, I could not believe it. He was like, if that guy wouldn't have pulled the fucking seat out, my shit would have been gone. He was like, and I was had already just accepted that my car was going and, you know, was insured, and that was that. He was like, but I wasn't there. I ended up seeing all this on video, but I remember that night. So he hadn't called me and told me nothing. So I was home, and, you know, when he got home, when he came in the house, I was like, what that smell? It smelled like something been cooking. Like, you been at a barbecue? Like, what the fuck? And he was like, Roxanne, you're not gonna believe what happened. He told me about it. We were cracking up. He was like, look at the video. And sure enough, the guy pulled the damn backseat out the car and all that. He was like, I could not believe it. But yeah, that car, he ended up getting it all fixed and everything, but it was a lot of damage from the fire. I think the batteries in the back seat, well, you know, the batteries are usually in the trunk, so I think that they overheated, and so it heated and burned all of the shit up in the thing. But anyway, that was just a quick little story time about Mr. and his car, his lowriders, child. But he ended up selling that lowrider, and now he has a couple of different ones. But anyway, you guys, all that to say, Rick Ross's car show will go down on June 3rd. Will you be attending?
Flexing, and you ain't gotta try too hard. Number one fan, your side.
All right, you guys, next story up. I mean, I guess I didn't really get no notes about this. Carmelo Anthony, he is retiring. And good for him. I mean, job well done. Carmelo Anthony, he's has he won any rings? I didn't get any of this. And Carmelo is not my player, so I don't know his stats and shit. I feel like he's got a ring. He probably does. You guys, I know that he's an Olympic player. You know, he might be one of those players that don't have a ring like Charles Barkley, but I think that Carmelo has a ring. I just can't remember. But anyway, yeah, he's retiring. Good for him. You know, he's been out there for a long time. He's been playing for a long time. So, I mean, job well done. Good for him. People are still talking about LeBron James. Okay, first of all, as much as I love the Los Angeles Lakers, you guys know that is my team. West Coast is the best coast, fool. I mean, it's always going to be that. I didn't even expect the Lakers to make it to, I didn't even know how far they were going to make it in the playoffs, let alone the Western Conference Finals. I think everybody was shocked about that. Okay, so the fact that they got swept by Denver, not that surprising. I mean, people act like teams don't lose, but the fact that it's LA Lakers, and really the fact that it's LeBron's team, is why everybody's like, Lakers are not as good as you want to say, blah, 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 blah. And the whole thing is, Lakers is always going to be a championship team, even if they suck for 10 fucking years in a row, okay? Lakers is always going to be a championship team. They always going to be a high draw. That's going to always be a big-ass, high-ass ticket to go see them play. And regardless of whether or not LeBron is able to lead the team to victory or not, They still my team, you guys. LeBron is one person. Awesome. And yes, LeBron actually can be responsible for winning a full game. Okay. Yes, he does need the help of his players, but LeBron can make it happen. But that's not always, you guys. And we got to remember, LeBron is on the other side of his peak. Not saying that he still can't do it. It is definitely not retirement time for LeBron. Okay, he still got some years left in him. I know everybody is pressuring him now, wanting to know, because he mentioned something about retirement, but LeBron's not about to retire. You know, he's getting close to retirement, but he ain't quite at retirement yet. Even in that last game, what it was like 40 points, this man is still working. Okay, he just needs to have the right people around him. And, you know, it's just you win some, you lose some, you guys. So I don't want to keep hearing about it. But no, I don't believe that LeBron James is going to retire at all. It's not time. I feel like he has a few years left in him. Carmelo, on the other hand, he's been injured. He's, you know, wasn't he on the bench for a second? And he been bouncing around and doing shit. I guess he just said, fuck it. He had this little video that he did talking about his legacy. You know, when he looks at his career, he thinks of his legacy, and he talked about his son. In the video, he shows a picture of the little girl. You guys remember he had a daughter out of wedlock. No, I shouldn't say out of wedlock. He was married still, just not with his wife did he have this baby. So, and that was the baby that was responsible for ending their marriage. You know, Carmelo has had other shit that has happened. I think Lala finally was like, that's enough. That's it. And so, is my car still running? It's so quiet. I need to make sure it's running because I got the air on. I don't want my battery to die. But he, in the video, he shows a picture of the little girl, but he doesn't acknowledge the little girl. I mean, he shows her, but he doesn't say, like, I think of my daughter and my son. I was looking in the comments. Somebody said he got 4 kids. Is that true? He got 2 other kids that we don't know about. I remember kind of some rumblings about one other kid, but I don't know. I don't remember what came of that. As far as I knew, I thought he only had the little girl and Cayenne, which is the one that he had with Lala, you know, his son, who is about to, you know, he's at the age now where he can be trying to get into the NBA. I guess maybe we would have liked to have seen a Carmelo and Cayenne the same way we want to see little Bronny and LeBron, you know, the father and son, both of them playing NBA ball at the same time. But at least in Carmelo's time, it's not going to happen. But I do believe his son will make it to the NBA. He seems to be a pretty good player. But yeah, that little slick thing, you know, on social media, it was like, oh, he finally acknowledging his daughter. I was just like, well, that's not really an acknowledgement. I mean, yeah, there is a picture, but I'm gonna need you to say my daughter. That's when you acknowledge it. When you actually say it with your mouth, the words. Because anybody that was watching this, if they don't know anything about the daughter, they wouldn't have known that he had a daughter. They would have just been looking at the video and known that he had a picture of a little girl and that he never said anything about, you know. So, I mean, I guess it's baby steps. But he might as well go on and accept her out loud and proud, because we all know about her. Okay? And you're not with Lala no more, so you ain't got to worry about upsetting your wife. I mean, it is what it is. And this little girl ain't asked to be here, so she at least deserves to be acknowledged by her dad, you know. But, okay, I'll give him, like, if his baby steps is fine. I mean, the child almost 6 looking. Is she about 5 or 6? I don't know how long it take to get to there, but yeah, whatever. But yeah, congratulations to Carmelo Anthony. Anyway, in his retirement, job well done.
Got me think about inside them walls. Words cut deep, it's like a sword. Making me better, you hotter than pepper.